established with the word. AM 590 WEZE Boston.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Everybody get exposed. Pray for all my foes. But it's the
Good morning. Welcome to Amazing Grace Sports Network, WEZE 590 AM. I am Eric K. James. This is
Clay Morris here on the left.
Who's that guy?
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
You.
Oh,
Who are you, brother?
Mr. Magic, you can hear him?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We got you.
Oh, okay,
now.
man.
You gotta speak up and make your presence felt.
Well, you know me, man. I'm going to change my name to Mr. Technical Issues.
Just as long as you get on the mic, man. That's all we care about.
Live? It's live.
Okay. Yeah, just as long as you get on the mic, man. Just as long as you get on the mic. All right,
we'll start with some prayer.
We're going to start with the prayer. We got to save some souls.
Yeah. Lord, we thank you for this day, Father. We thank you for life, health, and strength, that you will continue to intercede in our lives, Father. We just thank you for pushing us forward, even when we didn't think we can go so far, Father. We thank you for our listeners, Father. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this time, Father. I ask you continue to bless families, bless neighborhoods, bless our city and our state, Father. Keep the world. Let people learn to love and forgive in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Forgive. That's you can't do better than that. All right, we got a special guest here, but before we're going to get this right. Last week I tried this and it didn't go right. So before we introduce our special guest, we have today in history. Yes, today in history. 1928. Tyrus Raymond Cobb steals home for a record 54th time. Still home. Nobody steals home anymore. Yeah, he did. Wow. Okay, and listen to this, guys. There's a guy in the 700 Club who stole home 10 times. Does anybody know who he is?
In the 700, Alex Rodriguez?
He's not in the 700 Club.
Hey, Pedro Martinez.
I'm lost.
Babe Ruth. Yes, Big Babe Ruth stole home.
Home run 700 home run club. Okay.
Yeah, he stole home 10 times.
Babe Ruth stole home 10 times.
Yeah, I know. If he can do it, anybody can. Just shows it. All you need is effort. And apparently a lot of them guys in the 700 home run club didn't put forth the effort. Moving on. 1963, San Francisco Giants pitcher Juan Marichal pitched a no-hitter, the first no-hitter in San Francisco history. But there was another no-hitter in Giants history. It happened when they were in New York. Does anybody know the pitcher? You're not going to know it, so I'm just going to give the answer quickly. It's Carl Hubble. Carl Hubble pitched a no-hitter for the New York Giants because the New York Giants didn't move to San Francisco until 1959. Bada boom, that's out the way. 1974, Chris Evert wins her first French singles title. She was a teenager. How old was she?
18.
19. She was actually 19 years old. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Capriati. My fault.
Yeah. Well, that was close. And in 2001, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Philadelphia 76ers 100-86 in Game 5 to win back-to-back titles. Who was the series MVP for the second straight year?
Andrew Toney.
No, that would have mean they won.
He said 2001, not 81.
Not 81.
Not 81.
I just heard the one.
Okay, it was Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq.
It was Shaq. Of course, it was Shaq. Shaq at his greatest. All right, we got a special guest here. Let's get him in.
All right, a special guest today, y'all. Mr. Dana Barros.
Pleasure to be here, man. Appreciate you having me, Unc.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it.
It's actually our pleasure. Thank you. We should have bought you. Did you buy him his coffee? You should have bought him his donuts, his coffee, everything. You should have been able to order breakfast on us.
It's all love, man. I walk around from 8 to 10. I walk around with it.
So, Mr. Barros, you're a Boston native, and everyone here in Boston knows that. You went to Zavarian Brothers.
Severian Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, Severian Brothers, a nice Catholic place, and taught you all these morals of how to be successful. Then you went to BC. And on your visit to BC, you went there on a football thingy. whatever,
football visit.
Yeah, visit. And you stayed with Doug Flutie, who just won the Heisman Trophy. Tell us what he had on this wall.
Well, I mean, the whole weekend was great.
Okay. Just let him finish and we'll get to Wayne. What did he have?
Yeah, I mean, the whole weekend was great because the first thing we did on Friday night when we got to BC for the football visit was we went to the Georgetown Boston College game at the Garden, and I sat mid-court with Doug Flutie, and we watched Pat Ewing and everyone play, and we lost a close game. Then we went back to his dorm, and they said, "Hey, you're going to stay with Doug the whole weekend." And I was like, wow. And I go up into his room, and I knew he had just won the Heisman, so I was already crazy. But then the wall had like life-size posters of him on Sports Illustrated with the Miami play, and it was just like I was sitting there like, wow, this is crazy. And
this is gonna be me.
He was gone. Like 2 weeks later, he was gone. He was drafted, and he was out.
Wow,
nice.
Well, listen, we got Wayne on the line. Wayne, what we got here? What we got?
Well, I'm pleading my case. I wanted to sweep. It didn't happen. And also, did it bother anyone else that Joel and P touched the trophy before the game started?
What? He put the jinx on it.
Yes, he did. Yes, that's where I'm going with that.
Oh, man. I mean, I think everybody was there at that game. Paul George, you'll see a lot of ex-players because they wanted to feel the energy in the building if the Celtics won the championship.
Right.
The players who haven't been at that level and won that championship, they travel and they want to see what it feels like when that team wins. Sometimes they've lost it. We've lost those championships. Tatum and Brown went to Golden State a couple of years ago on our home floor. We had to watch them celebrate.
Yeah.
So when you see Embiid and guys like that going to those games, they want to know what it feels like because they're still trying to get to that level. And him touching the trophy was blasphemous, definitely.
There we go.
You need at least 2-3 rings before you start touching other trophies.
You get to look at it.
That's what I'm saying. I hope they expend a lot of energy trying to avoid the sweeps when they come here on Monday night. We'll close out the books on them.
Yeah, it's gonna have to. It's like to me, like this is where the biggest game right here. Like you cannot mess around. Porzingis is already in a tough situation where he really is not going to play unless he has to.
Right.
And I was sitting courtside Game 7 right there, literally 5 feet away from Jason Tatum when he twisted his ankle in Game 7, the first play of the game last year. So to me, tonight's a big game. You go out and win it. You don't want to go 3-2 going back to Dallas. The momentum totally shifts. The pressure totally shifts. And we want to celebrate at home with our fans, so let's do that.
And you don't know, you don't want to risk an injury, right? It going further and further. You already had the Porzingis injury, so you want to stop it right there. Finish this game out. Hopefully, Porzingis will be ready for Game 5, and we can put the boots to and just end this whole situation.
I don't see him playing. I think it would be a bad idea for him to play.
For them to say it was for certain situations, that meant if the game was tied with 2 seconds left, they would put him in on defense just to maybe try to stop a lob. That's basically what they were talking about him playing for. One special circumstance. That's all he was, and that means he's not ready.
Okay.
And a happy Father's Day to all you gentlemen. Thank you again.
All right, Wayne. Appreciate
Thank
it,
you, Wayne.
man.
Thank you, Wayne. All right.
Hey, let me look before real quick. Our caller number is 844-249-5247. 844-249-5247. Thank you.
I want to go into something you said. You said you saw Patrick Ewing there. Now, I saw this interview. You said when you saw Patrick Ewing standing over you, when you were standing at half court, you thought you had second thoughts about whether this is something you wanted to do.
Absolutely. That was the first time I said, is this like literally this is what I'm going to have to deal with. It was way bigger than I thought. I mean, way bigger. And as he walks as he walks right in front of you when you sit on the floor, they coming in the warm-up line. He is drenched. You know how he sweats, right?
Yeah, he sweats like someone just put a bucket on him.
I was like, this is too live for me, right? So, but that gave me a lot of inspiration as someone to work like extra hard, seeing that firsthand what I was going to experience.
What you're going to have to deal with.
I'm saying, I don't know if I'm ready for this, and that gave me that extra push to say, I don't know if I'm ready. That gives you that bump that you need, that pack that you need in the bag,
Yeah, you got to have it in the back of your mind. This is what I might be facing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to tune it up and get this thing ready, because that in front of me, that's gonna be tough to deal with if I'm not ready.
Definitely. Pearl Washington, Chris Mullin.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I played against all those great players. It was unbelievable. It was like the G League. The Big East was like the G League back then. It was the closest thing to the NBA.
Yeah.
And the Big East tournament was like an NBA weekend tournament, you know, playing at the Garden.
Wow. Yeah, that's when it was rocking.
Stars were out. I mean, you would see every single star in the front row, NBA players, and nothing but coaches and scouts too.
Now you coming up at the same time that they're having the Boston shootout, where they used to invite New York and a couple of other teams up here. I think Philly, Washington, and those were crazy.
Unbelievable. I grew up watching Doc Rivers, Dominique Wilkins come through. It was, and that to explain it to people, there was no AAU. I mean, it was AAU, but we had to go to New York to play. I played for BABC, maybe, a half a season, but every trip was a road trip. There was no AAU in Boston. So that was the biggest thing. And you had like 8 cities would come to Boston. So a team from Chicago, a team from New York, a team from Maryland, a team from California would all come to Boston and for 4 or 5 days play in a round robin tournament.
Right.
And it was the best players in the country.
It was crazy.
And that was great. I got to play with, at that time I played with Ramil Robinson was on. We beat New York in the finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of years after that, it went away and AAU just kind of took over. But maybe 10 years after that, after my final game.
Have you ever played at Rutgers Park?
No, never.
Really?
I was always football in the summer. I was an All-American football player, top 50 in the country. So nice. In July, I had training camps, three days, and all these special camps that I had to go to, because actually I was so much better or ranked higher in football. I was going to play football in college. I took a visit to Michigan in football.
What position?
D-back and receiver. So
okay,
yeah. So my next visit after BC was Miami, which was #1 in the country at the time. So I was going to have to play football, I thought, for a year and then walk on the basketball team. That's what I thought I was going to have to do at BC as well.
Right. Well, you avoided that, because if you thought Patrick Ewing, could be a problem, that NFL thing, that football thing, man, they hit hard and fast.
I'm gonna tell you, we went to the Michigan on a football visit. We went to the Michigan Penn State game. I think it was like 20 of us, and we went on the field and stuff at halftime. And dudes was next to me, and I'm like, "What, you play linebacker?" And he was like, "No, I'm receiver." At that point, I knew I had a serious problem. I was like a $140.
Yeah,
ran a 4.3 40, but I was a $140. Like they was probably gonna redshirt me 2 years and put some weight on me, because I would have got killed immediately.
He was receiving. He weighed about 180, right?
Yeah, receivers were like 190 and D-backs and cornerbacks, so 190 at
They're
Michigan.
built. Coming in
looking with beards,
with beards. It's one thing you notice when you go to college. There's some guys who are more developed than everybody else.
Crazy,
they're coming in with a full, like this guy here. They're looking like that at 15.
Yeah.
They're looking like that at 15, and you're looking at them like, yo, you sure you still should be in college?
It's like LeBron's a perfect case. I coached his son's team from 3rd grade to 8th grade. By the time we got to 8th grade and 9th grade, we would go play in different states and play. In 8th grade, we played teams where there wasn't a player on the other team that was under 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's just the athleticism and the size of these young kids is crazy. Doesn't mean they're better at the game. It just means they're more athletic.
Well, a lot of schools, like in the city and like versus down south, train differently too.
Mm-hmm.
So
down south, yeah.
Like in the 80s, I went to the Super Bowl with Dorchester High, and we played Mansfield. But we wasn't forced to go to the gym like, those cats are. And they pushed us all over. I mean, these dudes were huge, man. They it was snowing too.
Right.
It was like the perfect scenario, but we got pushed all over the field that day, man.
They was on the sled program.
sled program at Dorchester High.
Not only that, once you cross that Mason-Dixon line, it seems like those guys are a little bit bigger.
Man.
They've been training, like
the training table.
Genetically training for this.
Well, they feed down south. They give them the meals and prepare the meals. So they might give them a little extra sauce on or something here.
When you go down south, I mean, it's a whole new feel with high school.
Definitely,
them crowds are like crazy down there.
When I grew up, my mother got remarried, and my sister's father. We moved to Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, for 2 years, while They were building a power plant down there. The city was like dirt road. So I lived in the South, and the only thing that they had, there was no cable or anything. And every Saturday morning, there was high school games on ABC and CBS from 8 till like 8 at night.
Wow. High school games.
High school games
on ABC.
On the main channel. So I was
crazy.
That's when I knew it was deep down there.
You crazy.
I wanted to play basketball. They was looking at me like I was crazy.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Yeah.
That's a sissy sport.
Yeah.
You got to come out here on the field.
Yeah.
Hey, Marlon, you got any questions? What you want?
Man, I'm listening to the banter going back and forth, man. Plus, I got to fight to get it. I got to get a word in anyway since I'm not in the studio. So, but I'm sitting back.
Put on the boxing gloves and get in here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about Javante Davis tonight.
What's that?
Javante Davis. Well,
he's fighting tonight.
He's fighting tonight.
Frank Martin.
It might be more exciting than talking about what the Celtics did last night.
I don't know
what they didn't
do. What they didn't do.
Celtics punches.
Yeah, that was ugly. At that scenario, I was thinking about going to watch the game somewhere and try to enjoy it. And then in my mind, I'm saying it's gonna either be a blowout,
one way or the other.
You could just those scenarios, and people say, well, why can't they just, as human beings, subconsciously the subconscious controls your body a lot more than you think. You know what I'm saying? So you would think, okay, we're all gonna be subconsciously, you have 4 games to win one.
Yeah.
And it's and it's hard to explain why that kicks in. It's hard to explain.
You're lagging right from the beginning. From the time the ball is tipped off, you're a second, half a second slower than you are if you're really hyped and knowing you got to win. You're running, you're right, we got this, and next thing you know, they're up by 15.
And I guarantee you, the coach Joe Mazzulla,
that guy,
knew in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yep.
He knew. He's like, oh, here we go.
Yep. I'm sure that guy was like, oh,
he knew immediately. Because you can see they were getting every loose rebound.
Totally agree.
We were making one pass shot.
That poor guy.
I totally agree.
He must have been heck for him to go through that game. Sorry, Joe. We feel your pain. We feel your pain.
What do you say, Mama?
No, I totally agree. I thought, like you said, within 5 minutes, we knew this was going to turn out the way it was going to turn out. And at some point, he was going to say, you know what? Why get somebody hurt trying to come back when they got down 15? And it was like, 4 minutes into the second? It's like he already knew this is. The thing is, though,
they didn't play much. The Stars didn't play too many minutes. I looked at the game log.
Right.
They got involved.
But these things are in the DNA of both teams. So I kept telling everybody, stop falling for this little shiny new toy in the box that was coming into the series where Dallas was getting all these accolades and they were talking about the best possible backcourt in history and, Luka's doing this. And I kept telling everybody, the Dallas Mavericks are who I think they are, which is a team that I saw earlier in the playoffs. They were vulnerable to some things, but they hadn't really had to deal with it up to the point where they played the Celtics, and they had a hard time adjusting. That's just Dallas. Kyrie's going to be Kyrie no matter what, but I didn't think he was what everybody thought he was going to be.
He's going to be Kyrie when he comes back to Boston. We see what happens then.
So it's in the DNA.
We're going to see what happens. Well,
the Celtics, the Celtics have it in their DNA to have a letdown like this. So we knew one was coming.
Hey, well, we went 9 deep on the bench, so everybody got to feel the playoff, the playoff experience.
Yeah, even Jordan Walsh got out there for 5 minutes. Jordan Walsh and Nehemiah Cater got out there for 5 minutes. They could have been out there for 10 or 15 as far as anybody was concerned. The game was over by halftime.
Those might be some minutes we'll look back on in history and be like, yo, I played in 3 minutes in the finals, because you never know, man. That's a good play right there for them to get that 3 minutes.
That's a good idea. Get them in there, because they lost by like almost 40 points, 38 points there. So they didn't play a whole lot. And
I think it's great. I think for the league is happy. I think the league is happy. Now you have drama coming into this game.
Definitely.
You get to extend, make a little more money for the league. And now you have Kyrie going back to Boston in a great, scenario for Boston to win at home.
Yeah.
I think Dallas is going to come to play. It's going to be a good game, and I think we're going to have to play extremely well to win. And if we play extremely well, we'll win, you know. But I just think it's the shot selection and the 3-pointers. Like I think Coach Mazzulla said, I was watching the timeout, and he said, we're making one pass and shoot. So the next 5 minutes, I just watched it. Someone will come down, pass, shot. And then they showed a replay of the last game where there was 6 or 7 passes and driving, kicking. And that's just what we're going to have to do, man. Play team ball, not try to play hero ball. We play us, it's not going to be an issue at all, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we have all the parts. We've shown
Absolutely.
it in and out. The problem is sometimes Tatum will get in his own way, Jalen get in his own way, and they just come down and just want to do what they do. I mean, Jalen was playing like he played last year, last night. Like,
yeah.
Kelly's on the line.
Let's bring Kelly
We're looking for
Where's James?
Where's James at?
Hey, Kelly, come on. How you doing? Good morning.
Come on in there, Kelly.
Kelly, where you at, Kelly?
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Gentlemen, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Man.
E Boogie, thanks for that morning prayer. Good.
Yes,
Yeah, I feel sin free right now.
Oh, man.
That's a
Brother
lot of
Barros,
weight.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure, Brother Barros.
Appreciate you.
Present. Got a question. Well, if I was going to reflect on a little story, I played. I heard Eric. You played for Dorchester, Eric.
Yes, sir.
I played for Madison, and I'm going back. One of our worst defeats was against Severian brothers. And
Really?
yeah, then you were number 1, right?
Yeah, that was football we're talking about, right?
Seems to remember you.
Yeah, we came into the city. We cracked the head real bad.
Yeah. Well, we went out to you guys, and I know we're all familiar with Coach Wilson. Coach Wilson did a phenomenal job. Had us prepared. You know, we got there, and the Savannah, they had this big paper X, that the team was waiting to break through. And that's what happened. Once that happened, it's like
took your mind out.
Yeah, we're like, oh, well, we playing a college.
But I will say this though, the opposite happened in basketball because we played Madison Park in the Christmas tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So we Severian, we come down there and we're in a warm-up line, and then Madison Park comes out. MP. Yo, the whole Severian line just stopped. It was like, I had to pull everybody together. Like, come on, man, let's go. Don't feed into it.
But I have to be honest. After that game in the locker room, we're talking. So we talk about Dana Barros because Coach Bruce is telling me, hey, watch this number one.
Watch number one.
You know, and you guys you stomped the hole in us, and we were hating. Oh, that Dana Barros ain't nothing. He ain't gonna amount to anything. You know what? He ain't going nowhere. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
How does that feel? How you like it now?
Exactly. Oh yeah, I'm letting it cheering. But if I could just touch on this game, this is a weird series because last night, Game 4 should have been Game 3, and Game 3 should have played out like Game 4. You know, that's what I expected them to play in Game 3. I was going to call, but what was I going to say? And also, you got to weigh in all these numbers coming into fact. Game 5 the closeout game is a tough game to win. Also, you look at the Celtics haven't lost a playoff game since May 9th. So they were on a streak, and they were undefeated on the road. So complacency has to set in at this point.
It has to at some point.
And that's what happened, I think. But I think this loss gets them refocused in Game 5. Should be a good one. Me, myself, I like to be entertained. I'm with like Bobby last week. I like to see Game 7. Just to
What? No,
that's
no,
danger, man.
No, man.
I want to be entertained.
playing with fire there.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I think we want to hold on to basketball all summer, man, but that's not possible.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, we got the Olympics in August. I think we can hold off.
We got to give this up. You got to give this up sometime. You got to give it up.
I feel you, though. I feel you.
You can't play forever.
It could be the end of the season Monday, but don't forget the Olympics is coming up.
That's
soon.
right. There's plenty more basketball in another situation.
But also, too, I want to say we talked about the complacency for the Celtics. But also, what happened in that game was Dallas got confidence as well, and that's going to be something
that's going to be a problem.
Carry over to the next game. So the combination of both was, we didn't come out and play well, but Dallas found a way to get their confidence, and hopefully that that crowd in that first 5 minutes of Game 5 would turn everything around.
Yeah, get in there.
That's the key. The first 5 minutes of that, keeping our crowd into the game, not letting them. Come in there and quiet the best fans in the league. That's going to be super important for us.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, I think it should be. I think it's going to be closed out on Monday. I think so.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, Celtics. Let's get it going, baby. Let's get it done because we're waiting for that ban 18 for like how many? 18 years now. It's been that long. It's been close. 16 years.
No kidding.
No kidding.
I'll deal with Kelly later.
Yeah, the last time the Celtics won, I saw this earlier today. If you're superstitious, the last time they won was on this June 17th, 617. Monday's gonna be 617, and what area code they playing in?
617.
Wow.
So
let's take care of business.
Wow. Okay.
Let's take care of business.
Okay. Hey,
all right,
listen, Kelly, you got too much time on your hands, brother.
Hey, Kelly, we'll wait for James to call in and report to his bosses, as you know.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna hear from him.
You don't think? You think he's gonna? You think it's a no-show? He's not gonna call in for work today?
But he's on his way to go see his son run track. He was a phenomenal track runner. He was a phenomenal athlete. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And he can Zoom. He can stream us on phone.
He could have taped it and sent it in.
He could have done anything.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any excuses.
For him to totally just punk out, man.
Yeah, I just talked to him this morning. It just sounded like a lot of excuses. I guess he had enough crow.
Wow.
He's not going to get crowned. He knows that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. As long as he knows.
Hopefully he's listening now and gets motivated to call. That's why I'm calling him.
Hey, James, we dare you to call us. Dare you.
If you're scared, say you're scared.
Just come on.
Just go to the track meet. Don't even
send us a text.
All right, I'll talk to you guys next week.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
take care. Our number is 844-249-5247. 844-249-5247. Mr. Barros, so you leave out of Boston College after the college career was done, and you go to Seattle, and that's an adjustment all the way on the other side of the world.
Absolutely. And the crazy, I was super upset that I got drafted by Seattle because I was in Chicago the day of the draft. I had a pre-draft workout with them the night before, and I came home that morning of the draft, and they told me they had the 19th pick and the 21st pick, and they told me they would take me with one of those picks. So I'm thinking I'm going to play with Michael Jordan, my hero. So I'm thinking, okay, and I'm a projected second round pick.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I don't have anything to worry about. So I'm watching the draft with my boy. I left my house because my mother had the whole street was in front of my house. And I didn't even want to be there when everybody there. So I just go out the back door, go around the corner to my boy's house. Nobody knows where I'm at. I'm watching the draft with him, just talking to him. It's the 16th pick.
I'm safe. I'm good.
And they come up, and then David Stern's like, yo, the 16th pick, the Seattle Supersonics select Dana Barros. I'm like, who? Dana Barros, right? And my boy hitting me like, yo, that's you.
That's you.
And I'm like, no, hold up. Don't pick me. And this is the 16th pick because I want to go to Chicago. And I'm thinking
at
Seattle
19 or 21.
Seattle is the furthest away possible I could get from home.
Yeah.
So I was super upset at first. But then I got out there and me and Sean Kemp got drafted right behind me. We were next door neighbors. Gary Payton came the next year and we won 60 games 3 years in a row. So
wow,
ended up being dope. Even though I didn't play a lot behind Gary, it was probably the best experience other than my All-Star year.
How is it working out for a team that may draft you, but you don't want to really go? How do you keep the energy up in front of them?
Well, the lottery picks just tell them I ain't coming.
Yeah, they got it like
just
that.
Be like, don't even. I ain't coming, and don't pick me if I, if I'm there when you're there. But sometimes they'll still pick you. But guys who, like me, who was probably a late first, early second round, I had to go everywhere. I went to Chicago. I only took 4 visits, but I went to teams that I went to Milwaukee. I didn't want to play for Milwaukee. I went to Utah. Didn't want to
definitely want to play in Utah
behind Stockton. So I just at that point I just wanted to make it. And
Right.
I figured I might have a tough time if I was a second round pick. So I figured I was going to have to play really well in the summer camps, which I did at my senior year.
So when you're at the position of being traded and you know you're about to be traded, what is that experience like?
Well, the first time I was traded, I went in there and I did something I probably shouldn't have did. I was I was playing behind Gary for like 4 years. And we went to the Western Conference Finals. We lost to Barkley and them in Game 7. And I mean, I literally that year I averaged like 9 or 10 points in like 9 or 10 minutes. And I just wasn't playing. Gary was an all-star, getting ready to be an all-star.
Right.
And we lost to Phoenix in Game 7, and we were supposed to have the meetings the next day. And the GM came in, and I had my bags. I had like my house clothes and everything like outside the locker room, like because I'm going to the red eye after the game.
Right.
And they came in, they said, you have to go to this meeting tomorrow for the breakup meetings. I said, I'm not going. So they called me in the back room, and I just literally told him, I said, listen, man, I've been an ultimate professional. I'm the nicest guy you ever want to meet. But if I come back here next year, you are going to see Boston Dana, and you don't want to see Boston Dana. You don't know me yet. And I have a very different side. This is my career is on the line. I don't know what I can do because you're not giving me the opportunity, and I'm not going to get the opportunity going forward.
Right.
I said, so if I come back next year, you are going to see a whole nother person. I promise you that. And I got home and I was traded like 2 weeks later, right before the draft.
So you did it. You did it. You got it done.
But I got traded to Charlotte with Muggsy. So I'm making trade to Charlotte. Now I'm like, damn, now I'm with Muggsy. But it was a 3-way deal.
That's
and then
right.
I got
You're gonna
traded to Philly. So that was a blessing.
We got somebody on the line here.
All right, gentlemen. Well, here we go. He must have been listening. Go ahead, James.
James.
Report in.
Report, brother. I'm listening. Your phone work now.
Let me just say this. I know you've been waiting with great anticipation to hear me call in. So I ate some crow. I ate a lot of crow. I've been eating crow for the last couple of weeks.
You're going to be eating crow some more, but anyway.
Yeah, I ate a lot of crow. Not last night, but I ate a lot of crow. So I'll give you y'all props. So I'll call. What I say?
No. What's our name, James? What's our name?
What's our name?
All the King's men. All the King's men.
What's our name?
The King's men.
No.
I told you.
Who are we to you? Who are we to you, James?
All the King's men.
No, you.
Hey, if you want to be called boss.
Oh, there we go.
All right, you're the boss. I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll let you have that. You can be the boss today.
I felt like Ali right there. What's my name? And you were like Ernie Terrell.
Let me tell you something, Clay. I'm never scared. And Eric, you're talking about scared call the police. Anytime. I'm ready for you anytime. Listen, I'm going to talk trash when I'm winning. I'm going to talk trash when I'm losing. That's just who I am.
Hey, but when you're losing more than you're winning, what you do?
I'm eating crow.
My man James.
Someone sent me a meme of fried crow. So I guess I'm eating fried crow.
Hey, I wonder who sent that to you.
Yeah, I wonder who. Some guy, maybe some guy named Magic. I don't know. Maybe some guy.
At least he didn't call you a virulent bacteria.
Yeah. Okay. So you got me. The game that I saw last night was what I anticipated them doing from the start, but they didn't. If they would continue to play like that, Celtics would be in trouble because that's one of the things I touched upon was their athletic ability with Lively and Gaffney. I touched upon that, and they did that last night.
But hold on now. They did that because the Celtics didn't play last night. What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm just saying they did that last night. Celtics are playing great.
Last night?
Confidence in Dallas. I lost confidence in Dallas. I'll be lying to you if I told you I didn't. With the same token, that was the team that I thought was going to show up from game one, and they haven't. But as Kelly was saying, I agree with him. I thought that would be game 3, and it wasn't. But game 4, and it was. So with that said, I'm disagreeing with Kelly. The Celtics don't want a game 7.
No, they don't.
Game 7, as you all said, would be very dangerous, especially if they give them confidence. It's hard to close. When you get to game 7, all the pressure will be on the Celtics.
All of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to understand too. Like, Luka didn't play the last 4 minutes of Game 3. So this could be a very different series. That one game, that one third game made a big difference. We won the third game, and that was because Luka made bad decisions. It wasn't the refs, but he made bad decisions.
Terrible ones.
Took himself out of the last 4 minutes of Game 3, which was the most important game to this point. So
He just argued with everybody.
yeah, and that changed the series. So it's going to be a tough game. Like I don't think by no means I think Monday is going to be something that's going to be easy. I hope for that, but I don't see that. I see opportunity in their eyes. If I'm Dallas, I see opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm coming out the first 10 minutes and trying to make a fight of it.
Put that pressure on them. If they come out there and put that pressure on the Celtics and fight with them for the first half and get into the third and it's close. Oh boy.
But if we come out and we ding them in the head early and the crowd gets in the game, we have to finish it. When we get up 20, we get up 25. That's the thing what we have to do in this game is not allow those swoops and those waves to come where we go up 12 and then go down 2, back up. Just put the foot on the neck and put them to sleep.
Well, they're gonna have to get out of that ISO ball when they get up. Stop being lazy. Keep the ball moving. Keep it crisp. Keep people going to the basket, getting fouls, getting baskets, getting fouls. Shoot the three when they need it, when they're wide open, not contested threes. That's the easiest way for them to do it. But if they go back to just walking the ball up the court and put it into Jason and Jalen's hands, letting the defense set, they're not doing themselves any favor. They got a chance to ram it down the Mavericks' throat, which they should have did if they really wanted to. But they still get a chance to do it on Monday in Game 5. We'll see what happens.
And you can't let PJ got off last game. Jones got off. Lively got off. Those guys didn't get off in the other games. Even though Kyrie and Luka had great games, and on Monday you cannot let PJ Lively with the lobs. You cannot let those guys get off. If Luka gets 30 and Kyrie gets 30, those other guys still have to be, handled.
Yeah.
But the only thing that brings those other guys into the game are the lobs.
Yeah.
Because it's only Luka and not Kyrie are shooting.
And they've only gotten 5 in the whole series, and they had 27, I believe, in the last series.
Yeah.
So they were croaking the Timberwolves.
We've been taking away the lob and giving up the corner 3,
Right.
and they haven't been hitting it, but they did last game.
Yeah. All right, James, man. Appreciate you.
Really
Man.
But James, I'm sure we can't let James just go like that. James, we got to get a prediction on Game 5.
I will say that, listen, the Celtics are a must-win for them. You don't lose that game. I'm going to tell you right now, because you don't want to go back to Dallas. Dallas have a whole lot of confidence. Celtics need to close them out on Game 5. If they don't close them out on Game 5, Game 6 is going to be a stretch. And if they get to Game 7, it's a pickup. And I'll tell you that. So Celtics need to close them out in Game 5, period. End of story.
End of story.
If they're going to do it. If they're capable of doing it, but they better close them out. Don't let them win that game. And honestly, they're going to have to win by at least 10 points. Because if it's a close game, it's going to be a problem for them.
It's going to be a problem.
Celtics have to win by 10 points. Can I touch upon something else you all talked about?
Sure. What
Dana
you got?
talked about,
What up?
which was the South. As you all know, because I know Kelly mentioned to you, my son definitely, he's an athlete. I wasn't going to call in because I'm en route to North Carolina to watch him run the Adidas Invitational meet.
You're going to the South.
He's in the South.
Yeah, well, I'm in the South now. I live in the South, live in Atlanta, but I'm heading to Carolina to go watch him run. And so what Dana said about the athletes, and I tell you, there's a significant disparity when it comes to the South and the North
Right.
as far as athletes is concerned. I mean, my son, I'm 5'7". He's already 5'9" at 13 years old, size 11.5 shoe, 11.5, 12 shoe, and he's 150 pounds.
What are you feeding this kid?
And he's not lifting anything like that. He's 13. He runs a 1, 2, and a 4, and he's pretty decent at it. So it's a big disparity. I've been to I've been to the basketball games, the football games. These games I went to, I'm like, hold on, this kid's in middle school. You're seeing kids 300 pounds. I mean, these kids are huge.
Yeah.
It's a significant disparity.
Wow. Yeah, it is. It is.
I know it's a significant disparity. A friend of ours, he comes down at the Junior Olympics, and he brings his daughter because she runs as well. But she runs up north in Massachusetts. She's like, it's the competition
is nowhere until she comes down south, then it's a reality check. It's a reality check.
Good for her. Good for her. At least she's getting a reality check and she knows what she's up against. Yeah. It's like Dana when he saw Patrick Ewing. He knew he was gonna step up his game.
The women are tall down here too. There's just athletes all over the place. And a lot of these women are former athletes. You know, track and field is huge down here. Football's huge. Basketball's gotten increasingly larger. There's a lot of, as you can see, there's a lot of talent going to NBA. I could name a ton of them that's gone to the NBA out of Georgia. So it's a lot of competition. My son played AAU last week, and just to see the talent level of these kids is phenomenal, and the height of these kids.
It's big, huh?
You know, there's a kid 6'7", 13 years old.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah. I didn't get to my height till I was like 18 or 19. James, well, good luck. We wish your son good luck. You know, hope he takes the whole thing. Show us the medal when it's done. But let's see what happens on Monday too.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Definitely Monday. All right, you guys take it easy.
All right, bro.
Also, too, man, we got to remember that we came back from 3-0 last year in the Eastern Finals and lost Game 7 when Tatum twisted his ankle. So we know the other side of it.
Yeah,
you know, and they talked about that last night in the locker room before the game. Joe talked about. Remember last year we talked about going one game at a time, and we came back from 3-0, and we had a home Game 7. You know, so. You know, it's in the back of our minds because we were there last year. So we need to. That's even more of a urge for us to take care of that business on.
So now that you talk about Joe, what do you think about Joe Mazzulla?
I hadn't really known much about him. Before he became coach, in terms of that. But I think he's learning every year. He's gotten better. I think the most important thing is the relationship with the players. And that they respect him, and that's happening. So for some reason, he's gotten that respect. He deserves it up to this point, and if he wins tomorrow, he'll get more respect outside of the area. But a young guy to come in that situation with the expectations, because when he took over, it was championship or nothing. He had no room to wiggle. He had no wiggle room at all, because we've gone to Eastern Conference Finals 6 of the last 7 years. Went to the championship 2 years ago. There's no other space but championship for him, and to come in, have a rough Eastern Conference Finals last year. They talked about his timeout usage and his substitute, and this year I think he's made adjustments with the media especially, and he's just done a great job of getting the guys to believe in what he wants done on the court, and that's hard to do when you're a young guy. Some of the guys on the team are older than him. Al's older than him.
He's very intense. I think Al's 40. He's 38.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And pregame, I heard a bunch of stories of pregame. If you're on the staff, you have to play in the pregame with him, and they play half court, and there's no refs out there.
I've seen some of that.
That's the mentality that he has. You know what I'm saying? So he's that type of. He played at a high level. So when he's out there playing, there's no fouls called. You know what I'm saying? He's throwing flying elbows. It's like it's a WWE. That's the way he rides. That's the way he carries himself.
Leg whips.
What he wants to carry over onto the court. That intensity.
Yeah, that's great, man. Because I think we beat him up a lot when he first got thrown into the fire. That he wasn't hard enough on them.
Yeah.
But the team of today is different from the team of yesterday.
Right.
Because I don't think mentally they could take the beatings that some of those coaches gave to them.
Definitely.
So you got to deal with them totally different.
Yeah.
And I think his way of relating to them is huge.
Yeah,
it is.
And they're responding.
Yeah, to figure it out. It reminds me of George Karl when he took over in Seattle for Casey Jones, and we were winning 50 games, and Gary and Sean was just crazy at that time, just running everything. And he came in as a first-time coach with a great team and expectations, and had to walk that line of, Gary, do I scream at him? Do I yell at him? And that's where Nate McMillan, who was the backup point guard, was really that mediary that helped him get over that hump and would say to Gary and Sean, yo, y'all tripping, stop. And he was the only one who they really respected enough until George got the confidence of the players.
Got some cred.
And then now the players had to listen to what he said. And that's what Joe's done. I think he's always had the respect, but I think it's gone up since he's done exactly what he's done.
All right, what you got, Marlon?
Oh, you guys know me, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm still here, huh? I thought I was gone. I was watching TV.
I saw you leaning and bouncing. I was like, this dude got something to say. We'll get you
I
in.
almost got up and got my coffee. It yesterday. But listen, man, there wasn't a lot to take out of yesterday's game, but I'm going to tell you some things that I observed. There were definitely some favorable calls that went Dallas's way and not Boston's way, and I think they
That's
kind of
been for 3 games now. That's been for 3 games.
Well,
They've been
last night was, a little bit more. The thing is, when your team is up, you see less. When your team is down, you see more because you're trying to find a reason why such, a difference from one game to the other is taking place. But one of the things that I do like, if you guys notice, the Celtics they're not what you would call a beat 'em up tough team that's going to intimidate you. They're just not that team. But when that guy came at Jason Tatum yesterday, and Tatum he had a level head, he had a calm about himself. He says what he has to say, and he turns around and he walks away. I thought that was a pretty good display of what the character of this team is. Jaylen Brown always comes to his bat. We wonder. Jaylen went over there and kind of like, yo, come on, get out of here with that nonsense. So Tatum didn't feel like he had to deal with it for himself. But the team is. If you look at another situation where Jaylen Brown got into it with somebody, the guy pushed him, Jaylen just walked away. Those are really good demonstrations of what is really going on inside those practices, the conversations they have in front of leadership of the team. It's a lot of the little small, tiny things that I'm paying attention to. I'm not concerned about them losing in this series because I see a different team. I think I'll see a different Holiday. He was missing simple bunnies last night. He won't do that again. Al Horford, man, we got a lot of leadership. I don't see a lot to really be concerned about. I think they kind of knew right away that this wasn't their game. But, I like them in game 5.
I'd say so. Holiday, to me, works better on 3 days rest than 2 days rest. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that.
I think he should shoot a little more. He gets the ball in the middle and passes it out. Sometimes he
passes it out.
He's unselfish. I think sometimes he needs to be a little more selfish.
Yeah.
Especially when we're struggling on offense and getting. To me, I like to see if we had someone who could come off the bench, a point guard who could just grab the ball and say, "Give me the ball. We're going to run this play." Come off a double curl, and then you can do whatever you want, just to kind of break the rhythm of the stagnation on the court that Joe talks about when he said we're making one pass. That's where a guy like a Chris Paul will come in and say, and has the cachet to go up to, "Give me the ball, man. I don't care who you are." Like, I played with guards that may have not been the star, but when they were on the floor, they would literally go run up and take the ball out of the star's hands and say, "We're not doing that. We're running this play. We're going to go to him over here, and we're going to run this play. If that's not open, I'm going to come back to you on the weak side just to get the rhythm of the game changed."
Change it out.
And that's where I think Drew and Derek can be a little more aggressive in terms of that of getting us into something, instead of just hitting, going away and watching
and staying back.
Right.
Staying up
Only when it's stagnant. When we're going up and down shooting threes, I'm a 3-point shooter. I like it. But when it's off, when we're missing, that's where you got to do something else and get into some rhythm plays.
Great.
We're probably down to about our last
couple of minutes here.
Okay, so we'll give our last thoughts when we think about
it's 844-249-5247, but you might have to call us next week. I want to bring in Mr. Barros. He has a camp. He has a camp that's pretty well. And who should come to your camp? I mean, for the people that have kids and thinking about they need to learn basketball.
Well, we have a basketball club. It's 5 courts, and we have all ages. We start at 3-4 years old. We call little dribblers. Well, it's just very elementary. We have
get them in there early. Parents.
We have about 50 AAU teams from 3rd grade up to 8th. Up to 18. High school.
Okay.
But we also have a 200-person pickleball league that goes on during the day, and we also have a fully functional 2-level men's league. And a women's league. We have sis run. So we have something for every single person out there.
You're giving us hope here. You got over 70 league.
Well, listen, I I tried playing in the A-level men's league. I played one game and they picked me up full court, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna either change the rules where you can't pick me up full court, or I'm gonna quit playing. I decided to quit playing.
What's the name of your place?
Dana Barros Basketball Club. If you go to danabarros3.com, you'll see everything we have. We also have summer camps year round, and every time there's a holiday, we try to help the parents out. So if there's a holiday, we have a full day of programs. So when parents are home on George Washington's birthday or Martin Luther King Day, we always have something going on so the kids can get out the house and have a place to go. So that's really what we specialize in, is downtime. And we try to have just programs for everyone.
You hear that, Massachusetts? Downtime. For all of you parents, bring your kids to his complex. Let's get it done. And you never know. They might turn out to be NBA players. What have you got to lose? Nothing.
No. It's a less chance of being an NBA player, but solid kids.
Solid kids.
You started, I won't finish it. Solid kids that are doing solid things, keeping your mind occupied. So get away from that iPad,
Amen.
Computers that just lead you astray. So we're trying to get these kids to start thinking positively and understanding that's because we were kids. We didn't want to be in the house. It was a punishment to be in the house.
Yeah, you made me come in the house.
But these kids now, they stay on iPads and stuff because the parents don't have, or either they got too much to do and ain't got time for the kids, or don't make time for the kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of different. But that's a great thing, Dana, man.
That's a great thing.
We definitely appreciate you, man.
We want everyone in Massachusetts, look them up, bring your kids there. Let's give them a good, solid foundation. Closing remarks.
Closing remarks. What you got, Marlon? You got like 10 seconds.
Hey Dana, they like doing this to me. They like hogging all the time and then throwing what you got for like the last 2 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get my prediction. I predict the Celtics take it in Game 5. Y'all let James off the hook. You asked him a question and you let him hang up without picking the team. So you dropped the ball there, Clay.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, who do you got? Who you got on Monday?
I said the Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics. All right.
I say the Celtics on Monday. I said 5 anyway, so I'm on my number now.
I said 5. I called it in 5. I said they were going to lose Game 4, but I didn't expect them to get blown out. I did predict they were going to lose Game 4, but they should take it Monday, and hopefully they do.
Yeah, I predict same. I predicted 5. I didn't know where that one game would be, the one loss would be, but again, as a former player, someone who's been in that situation, it's not at the championship level, but Eastern Western Conference Finals. It's a tough line to walk. You got to come out as a player on Monday and handle your business, because now we're on the crescendo. You know what I'm saying? It could go down this way, it could go back this way.
You're on the precipice.
We're right on the precipice. So it's time to handle the business. But I look forward to us doing that. We have the best fans in the world, and I would love to have that celebration be right here in the 617.
I would too. 617 on 617.
Go ahead.
Okay, great.
All right, man.
You want to say anything? You played in Philly now. You showed out in Philly, and you said Philly had good fans.
No, they have a good fan base, and they have a crazy fan base if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the bad side, bro, you got some problems. You got some real problems. But they're real fans. They understand the sports, and they understand the ins and outs of the game. Intricacies of the game, like Boston fans. So you get on the wrong side, you got some major problems down there.
Being unselfish. So I say that because Celtics players, Boston fans can get real ugly. And most of you guys have not been here when it's happened, because you've been here when they've been winning. But if you lose, Larry Bird said this. He says, the fans are out there. If you hear the fans out there a half an hour, 45 minutes before you even take the floor, they want blood. And either you're going to give us the Mavericks blood, or you're going to give us your blood. One of the two. So be ready when it comes on Monday to play.
Yeah, I think Kyrie, it'll be an interesting 2-3 hours for Kyrie on Monday. It'll be very, very interesting to see how him and Luka respond, because the fans are going to be off the hook.
They're going to be off the hook. They're going to be stomping. The ground's going to be shaking in the Garden.
It's going to be crazy.
So in closing, we want to thank everybody for showing up, listening. Don't forget, like, subscribe, call in, leave comments, and go on the internet. Look up Mr. Barros camp. It's very, 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 very successful. People love it, and we think you will too. So, and give them your support, and also your kids will be supported also.
All right, you guys, appreciate you. Callers, we appreciate you. And that will do it. All right, Marlon.
I hear the music.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dana. Appreciate you, man.
As always, a great show, guys.
It's the nail roll. These rappers gonna sell their soul. I don't care if they hate me. This the life I chose.
Get uplifted.